Then this is the syllabus, that is Introduction to Sensors and Actuators. Then we have role of sensors and role of sensors and actuators. So, and then you have the sensors and actuators in an automobile system. Then you have the sensors and actuators in feedback control system. The importance of estimation in sensing, innovative sensor technologies, application scenarios, analog and digital transducers and actuators, components, interconnections and signal conditioning. I will tell you, just I am reading out the syllabus now. Component interconnection, signal modification conditioning, importance of impedance matching in component interconnection. Then impedance matching methods, generation of IoT sensors. Then first generation, description characteristics, advanced generation, integrated IoT sensors, polytronic systems, sensors, swarm sensors, printed electronics, IoT generation roadmap, energy and power management, energy harvesting, solar harvesting, use of mechanical harvesting, then energy harvesting, energy storage, then supercapacitors and radioactive power sources. That is. So this is the syllabus. So we will see CO wise, that will be clear, so that I can tell you how to see what CO is, what syllabus is there each CO. So I have a, what you call, the first book is there with me, e-book. So one more thing I wanted to tell you, like, have you joined any WhatsApp group in IoT? Is there any WhatsApp group in IoT? Just respond. Is there any WhatsApp group? Okay, fine. Okay. There is no WhatsApp group. So one of you can create a WhatsApp group. Likita, can you create a WhatsApp group and share the link here so that all the members can join? So anyone?
Okay, sir, I will create.
Yeah, create a WhatsApp group. Put the heading as CSC IoT stream and share the invitation link here so that during this class itself you can share it.
Okay.
So that all can join and whatever information is there we can pass on. Because it will be difficult because you are in the online mode and we are in the off. So everybody is in the online mode. It's better to have a social networking so that for communication purpose it becomes easy. Okay, thank you. You can create and post a link here.
Okay.
Right. Add me as the admin, and I will give you the other faculty members also. Later we can add. I will add the faculty names. Right. Thank you. Okay. So all of you, whoever is there in the meeting, try to join that WhatsApp group so that the communication will be reaching to you very effectively. Because we all are, because you are all CSC members, we are all from electronics and computers engineering. So departments also different, so it becomes easier for us to actually communicate through you in the WhatsApp. Last year also same thing happened. Most of the communication to the your Y18, your senior students, we have communicated most of the things in WhatsApp. Material also, whatever material we have given, all these things we have communicated in the WhatsApp. Okay. Right. So first textbook, that is Sensors and Actuators, Engineering System for Instrumentals, second edition, Florence W.D. Salva, CRC Press. That book is there with me, so that book I will share in the WhatsApp group. So that's why, or in this Teams also I can share the files. So both the any one method I will use, and I will be sharing the what you call the this thing WhatsApp. This textbook ebook I will be sharing. So this is basic first textbook. Can anybody tell me what is meant by IoT? Can anyone? Don't write in the chat window. This is the thing which you have to respond now. Okay, chat window, you can just type in Google it and you can just whatever is there in your mind, just respond and tell me. Students, nobody are talking. Your seniors were so much active in the class, in the online class. Of course, I know that this is a different type of teaching. Yeah, Rajesh.
Sir, IoT introduction as Internet of Things. Here, devices are communicated through each other through through internet.
Through internet. Okay, right. Okay. It's a very good answer given by in simple way he has answered. So that's what you have to know. Okay, it's a communication between devices through internet. So he has given a correct answer only in a simple way. That's how you have to know. All in this course, you have to know everything. You have to understand in a simple manner first before going to the advanced one. So whatever things you are going to understand in any course, not only in this course. So we call, why we call as these things. Okay, he has told about the connection of various devices and connecting to the internet. So here the devices could be sensors, actuators, and all these things, whatever hardware devices are there, these are called the physical objects. Okay, so physical objects means these are the things actually. So Internet of Things means these things are nothing but these are the devices. So what we will do is these devices, what we can do is we have to make sure that these devices are getting connected into the internet so that we can store some of the data, whatever the device is generating. Suppose now the present temperature in KLU is like 35 degrees. Okay, so 35 degrees centigrade now it is the temperature. Now we can share the data to the what you call to the net. And after some time it can become 36. So we have an average, we can calculate what is the temperature. And similarly, not only temperature, any parameter, whatever things we are going to sense. That means if you are aware of these malls, like you are aware of the shopping malls where the number of people entering into the mall at peak hours are more. So we can have various types of sensors in detecting the number of people over there. Like we can have a CO sensor. That means will be checking the carbon monoxide or something like that. We will check the number of people inside the thing. We can check the carbon dioxide. So if it is more, we can predict the numbers. Or we can have any IR sensor so that we can check the number of people entering and exiting. So like that, we can actually calculate a model. We can create a model. Like at what time more people are there and what time less people are there. Nowadays, it is very, very important to have, because these are the, still we are in the COVID times. So still it is like every person has to maintain as per the rule 6 feet distance. So now it is very difficult to have more people in the mall at the same time. Earlier it was not a problem. So like we need to restrict the number of people entering into the any mall. So like we can actually create a model and we can have the data from the internet. So once we are actually passing on from the sensor data to the internet, now it becomes very easier. Now we can have any model like a machine learning model, and we can actually create a very effective model and restrict the number of people entering into the model. Sometimes it becomes very difficult. Similarly, traffic also, it is the same thing. How much time this traffic light should be on and off. So varies actually. You can see Ben Circle is very, very congested. So red light, yellow light, green lights. How much time you are actually halting one side of the vehicles. So in peak hours, how much time you are halting? In normal hours, how much hours? You can have a kit. You can have you can effectively monitor the passage of the vehicles. And similarly, other examples are like you can have in we have apartments in the ground floor. We are having the car parking and all these things. So we can have a kit and we can have a small camera and we can entering the vehicles entering into the apartments. So how many vehicles are entering and how many vehicles are going. And you can also have, if you have a model that numbers, if they are registered in the database, we can feel like guest will also come into the apartments. So like that we can have another type of numbers. Nowadays, even the good thing is, earlier this IoT name came into existence from 2015. Now the thing is, nowadays this machine learning integrating with IoT has become a very important field. So you have taken IoT, so you have done a very good job, because you are going to study machine learning also. So machine learning and IoT mixing, it will be a very, very bigger, what you call, in your final year, if you are thinking about a project, it is the best project. So think about these things. You will be working on some hardware as well as software. So both the things you will be working on. So I hope we will be discussing these things in detail during the skilling hours. We have 4 hours skilling every week. So I will be giving you day to day some task. I will be giving. I will be explaining something during the skilling hours, and I will be giving you tasks. So all these tasks you have to. I think everything you will be coming during skilling hours also offline mode only. So during that time we will discuss all these things. So make sure that you have an idea. You can just type in, you can just Google it and you can see what is combination of a project containing both IoT as well as the machine learning. Right. So, of course, I have told the definition of the IoT. So here what we are doing is we are exchanging the data with the other devices and systems over the internet. Okay. So our subject is IoT sensing and actuating devices. Okay, sensors means you already know. Sensors means you will be having various types of sensors like temperature sensor, so many sensors, humidity sensor. Then you have fire sensor, gas sensor, so many types of sensors are there. So all these sensors, what they will do, they will, if any deviation is there or if any fire is there, it will be sensing and it will be passing on the information to the system, okay, to the embedded system. If you don't have connected to the internet, it becomes an embedded system. So if it is getting connected to the internet, then we are actually passing on the data into the cloud as well. So yes. So these are the various types of sensors. So now tell me, what is meant by an actuator? Anyone? What is meant by an actuator? You have told like sensors, you already know. So that's the definition of the sensor. I have already told you. So what is an actuator? What is an actuator? Any idea, anyone? No idea? Okay, so I will tell you. So you are having a normal, what do you call, sensors. So the actuator is responsible for controlling the system. We call it as for controlling a signal or a system. So if you have in automobile, in our syllabus, it is showing the sensors and actuators in automobile. You can see the very first sentence, like introduction of sensors and actuators, roles of sensors and actuators in an automobile system. So automobile system means you can take your car itself. Okay. So you can also control using the various these gears as well as brakes, everything you can control. As well as you have the various sensors in your car also. So nowadays you can, if you want to have more safety or security features, you can have more what do you call the sensors embedded into the car. So these things we will clearly study in detail. So what are the various sensors and actuators present in the automobile system. Then also we will see what is the feedback control system. So what is meant by feedback? So feedback means, of course, you are aware of like every semester you are giving feedback to your faculty members, how they are teaching and how much rating you are giving. So all these things you are doing. So here also we have feedback is more or less similar only. So here also the feedback control system means from the output it goes back to the input through a block. So that means whether to have any control of the thing. So that's why whether to reduce anything, whether we are going to have any further instruction, further uh, stipulations given to the input. So like that we can have in the feedback control system. So these are the things. So textbooks also I will show you one of the textbook little later in this class. Then we have then we will have just wait. I'm just my screen got hanged. Just a minute. Okay, we have some MOOCs courses also. Those are Coursera courses. You are already aware of the Coursera. So this Internet of Things Sensing and Actuating is available in the Coursera also. That you can go through. I think already you are doing some other courses in Coursera. Then we have the course Rational and Course. Yeah, it's moving now. Okay. So finally, the objective of this course is to present recent advances made in the field of sensors, along with a broad overview on physical principles of sensing and sensor characteristics and theoretical concepts. So these are all the things like you will be understanding the types of analog sensor, digital sensor, and interfacing of these sensors. All these things will be able to learn. Especially you will be familiar with what is an analog and what is a digital. I think you have already studied digital electronics. Have you studied digital electronics? Just type in the chat box, or DLD or DSD, or whatever name it may be, or COA. And type in the chat box. Have you studied COA, DLD, DSD, digital electronics? What course you have studied? Mention the course also in the chat. DLP means what is the full form? What is DLP full form? Rajesh, can you type the DLP full form? Okay. Okay, I think you are familiar with these courses. Digital logic and processors also are studied. Good, fine. Good. Okay. So we have studied all these things. So I hope you know what is a digital signal or what is this binary things. All these things you are already familiar with. Anyway, I will again for these things I will just tell you once again. So analog signals are there and digital signals are there. You can take you consider about the temperature. Temperature is analog in nature, right? So it is a sinusoidal kind of a signal which we need to. It is just continuous in the nature. Okay, it keeps on changing. There will be means now the temperature is 35, 35.1, 35.2 or below 30, 34.9. So it's just continuous in nature. Just keeps on changing. So digital means we have a fixed thing. Okay, fixed thing means we are converting from analog to digital. Then we are making sure that we will exactly get the value in the whatever display we are keeping. Once we are converting from analog to digital, then we will be able to display it on a what we call LCD panel or LED panel, whatever LCD. We can be able to display the temperature. Otherwise, we need to go for, if it is completely, we need to display in the analog fashion only, we need to go for a needle kind of setup. That you might have already seen. I don't know whether you have seen, but earlier in our homes, we need to have in that electricity meter, we need to have an analog needle over there. Nowadays, everything is converted into digital. You have only numbers over there because digital gives you perfect results and perfect outputs. Analog means there is a small deviation, some slight error sensitivity. So that's why analog is very difficult to what you call. Difficult to means slight variations, slight output variations will be there. That means since we can already, you are aware, like there are so many signals which are going in the which are invisible. You can like these various DTH signals are there, mobile signals are there. So many signals are going into our environment. So all these signals can be prone to the electromagnetic interference. Now you will be having a doubt, what is this electromagnetic interference? So electromagnetic interference means the various rays and waves at various frequencies. Like you are already aware of the various rays like X-rays, there ultrasonic rays are there, microwave rays are there, radio waves are there. So many different types of rays are available. Some of the rays are very much harmful. Infrared rays are there. So some of the rays are very, very harmful. So what we are communicating is in our general communication or whatever mobile communication or whatever type of communication is there. So we will be focusing on the radio signals only, which are not that much dangerous. Okay. Nowadays, yeah, we are using, many people are using the 4G and we are having all the smartphones and everything. So it's not that good actually because towers are there and radiation factors are there. So these things are some of the factors which are unavoidable. But because we are in a place where density of the people are also more. So that means we need to have more powers, more signal strength, everything should be there. So that means more signal strength means more radiation from the tower. So that means again there is some disturbance which is getting to the anymore. So that is unavoidable as of now. So because 4G technology, everybody is in online mode, so this is very much necessary. Right. So we will be in analog means we are having these radio signals. So think about an example like an FM station. So we have an FM station like in the city of Vijayawada, you will be having FM stations like Radio Mirchis. In an FM station means it is using frequency modulation, that is analog in nature. So one person will be talking, that radio jockey will be talking from their respective radio station, and he will be talking. So his voice is an analog voice. That analog voice is going into the microphone and it is getting converted and it is modulated. So frequency modulation, this is modulated, the signal is getting modulated and the signal is transmitted from the tower. Okay, from the radio station tower. So that it covers the entire city of, for example, Vijayawada. So the receiver is a mobile phone. You have to use an antenna. So your antenna is your microphone, this headphones itself. You are using the headphones and then switching on the FM radio, then you are tuning on to that particular station. You can say 98.3 megahertz. Megahertz is a frequency where the tower is placed. Okay, we have mega because if you have just simply 98.3 hertz, your antenna height should be very much taller, like 10 kilometers antenna from the ground to the space you have to get. That's very difficult. So that's why to implement a very smaller antenna, we go for the 10 power 6. So that is 98.3 megahertz. So now the antenna height may not be that much taller. So like we can at the receiver, we can actually take the signal and we can demodulate in our mobile itself and we can actually listen to the radio. So these are nothing but you have an analog signal going into a digital mode and it is coming back into an analog back to your phone itself in the form of signals. Okay, in the form of audio signals. So we have done an analog signal is getting into an ADC, like analog to digital converter, and it is coming back and going to the original spot. So these are the examples. Analog means generally in our field it is radio signals only. Now digital means nowadays digital sensors. If analog sensors means this temperature is an analog sensor, humidity sensor, normal sensor is an analog sensor. But in digital sensors we have DHT sensor. So that is it is inbuilt. We have the analog and digital sensor itself is able to give the output in digital fashion itself. So that is the digital sensors. And finally, interfacing of analog and digital sensor to the controllers and application of sensors and actuators. Applications of sensors and actuators is a very easy topic. The last one, that is objective. And interfacing is a very important topic and the main topic of this particular course. Okay. So the last topic is it is like a theory subject and interfacing, how you are actually interfacing all these sensors with boards. So boards are available in the IoT lab. So you need to visit when you come physically, you need to come to the IoT lab, which is situated in the R&D block, ground floor. So R004 is the lab number. So in your timetable already I have intimated to your CSE department's timetable charges, like the labs and skill hours of both the subjects will be held in the IoT lab only. So which is situated in the R&D block, ground floor. So you need to come over here so that kids, all the hardware, all the sensors, various types of sensors, everything are available here. And you can work on the various boards and kits. So we'll be starting with simple temperature sensor first. So we will be actually going through the introduction of the various boards, how these boards are, how to understand the board first. I think you have already studied this DLP, right? Processors, you are already familiar, I hope so. So once you are familiar with the processor subject, it becomes very easier for me to actually introduce the board to you, how to connect the board and how to use this. These are the course outcomes, 6 outcomes. So first 4 outcomes are your CO1 to CO4 are nothing but your lecture hours only. And then we have the implement and evaluate the practical IoT. So that is the practical component. And finally, creating implementation evaluation of the practical IoT in progress. That's the final one. That is your skilling component. So this is how the syllabus is divided. I hope this course handout is available to you in the what do you call new ERP. It's not available, I will inform. So meanwhile, yeah, I can see this WhatsApp. You can join. Nikita has pasted the WhatsApp link. You can join in that. Okay. So this is the session-wise plan. Hope you are already in the 3rd year, so you know all the sessions, how the sessions are running here. So this is the practical components. So these are the things which you are going through the practical part. So Node MCU is one of the board. We will be using whatever boards are convenient to us. Node MCU is there, Raspberry Pi is there, Arduino board is there. So all these 3 boards are there. We will be using the boards. So here in this practical component, it is given as sensors and actuators using this Node MCU board. And also we have traffic light experiment, gas sensor, temperature and humidity monitoring, soil moisture. Then we have the potentiometer, heartbeat sensor, Node MCU with servo motors, LCD, and ultrasonic sensor. So all these various types of sensors we will be working on during the practical hours. We have some skilling also. Skilling means it's not only hardware. We need to somewhat focus on the software also. Okay. So skilling means you can see at the end 12 and 13. IoT project in Tinkercad and ThinkSpeak. So Tinkercad is available. It is in the online platform where various boards and kits, boards and components are available in the online platform. That's you are actually simulating all the things in the online also. That is one thing. And the ThinkSpeak is the like we are doing the IoT thing. So that is IoT project in Tinkercad and ThinkSpeak. And we have various small projects which you need to perform. So we will see. There are 13 different very small projects which you need to perform once parallel with along with the labs will be performed during the skill learners. So we'll see how many we will be able to perform during the course. Okay, this already I think you are already familiar with these things. We just go through these things. Any doubts you can ask me. So I may not explain to you these things. It is the evaluation. So end semester weightage is 20 marks, lab 10 marks, and skill 10 marks. So total 40 marks. Semin 1, Semin 2 are 10 marks the weightage. Lab exam is there, MOOC certification is there, skill in exam is also there. So MOOC certification, I think you have to go through one of the Coursera or one of the platform that I will let you know in the due course. Then we have the continuous evaluation, MOOCs review, skilling, continuous evaluation. So these are the what we call various components.